Thanks for being here, and happy Earth Day. My wife Susan's here today. We're going to go pick up a little litter and celebrate the fact that we want to make sure we have a very clean state right after the press conference here. But today I'm joined by Dr. Alexander Scott, Commerce Secretary Stephen Pryor, Tom McCarthy, Executive Director of the state's COVID response, along with Education Commissioner Infante Green and Department of Environmental Management Director Janet Coit, to share this week's update and to answer questions after we make presentations. Also, the Lieutenant Governor is here today, and thank you for being here, Lieutenant Governor, and continually partnering in with Sabina to make sure that she's very much up to speed on what's going on, especially on this important information that we're going to go over today. I think that we have some good news to share today, and it's encouraging for some announcements and updates on the reopening, and it's a good day for everyone here in the Ocean State. The message is pretty clear. We need to stay the course. We need to make sure that we continue the vaccination efforts, and we're certainly making an ask of everybody in the state of Rhode Island to, when you're able to make an appointment, make the appointment and get vaccinated, so that we make sure that we're keeping everybody safe in the state, as well as reopening both our economy and our schools. I would say it's a little early to put mission accomplished sign up, but we're getting ready to order that sign. But we got to make sure that the people in the state of Rhode Island understand that the work is still ahead of us, and over the next several weeks, we need to make sure that we're disciplined and that we are following the protocols that are put in place, as well as following the restrictions that are going to be lifted here today, that hopefully are going to help give us good relief to our business community. But we're only here because, at this point, because we are doing an extraordinary job in terms of getting shots in the arm, and by our National Guard and General Callahan, along with Tom McCarthy and Tony Silva, doing the work with REMA and our municipal leaders, and under the direction of Dr. Alexander Scott, in terms of make sure that the safety is the top priority. And we know that getting shots in the arms is exactly what we need to make sure that we're safe. I would say that, I'll just give a couple overviews on the vaccines that I think that we'd like to share with the people in the state. More than 500,000 people have received at least one dose. We have fully vaccinated more than a third of the state. Right now, nationally, we're ranked 8th on first doses and 5th on second doses. And with this week, we've received an additional amount over and above what we had announced last week. So there's many appointments available. Make your appointment, please. Make your appointment. We've also have meet milestones on Rhode Island is 65 to 74. More than 90% of the individuals 65 to 74 have been vaccinated in the state, and more than 80% have been vaccinated that are 75 and older. Tomorrow, roughly 12,000 new vaccination appointments will go live at vaccinateri.org, vaccinateri.org. So we have some updates that will take effect on May 7th. You'll get more details, but let me just give you the overview. It's because of the great work, as I just said. You can put up a slide. I believe there's a slide that you can put up now, just to kind of go over some of these details, so we can share that with the people that are watching. So we're looking at May 7th and May 28th. That's May 7th and May 28th as key dates. Starting on May 7th, in partnership with the Department of Health, we're announcing mask-wearing guidance. We'll move from being required to recommended outdoors as long as it's a 3-foot distance. Masks are still required indoors. I'm pleased to say that today's announcement will provide meaningful relief for every type of business. As of May 7th, that's the week of Mother's Day, please make your lunch or brunch reservation. All industry sectors like restaurants, gyms, and houses of worship can return to 80% of their pre-COVID capacity with a 3-foot spacing inside and a 3-foot spacing outside. Again, we're going to 80% of capacity across all industries with that 3-foot spacing. There are also additional areas of flexibility we are able to provide different types of businesses. For example, beginning May 7th, in restaurants, party sizes will not be limited to a certain number. Catered events will increase to 200 indoors and 500 outdoors. And we're removing the testing requirement for catered events, except for the student-catered events like proms. Stefan will walk through some of the details momentarily that have to do with what's happening at beginning May 7th. As of May 28th, we will lift all capacity limits and just require 3 feet spacing with masks still required indoors. Again, that's May 28th that we're lifting the capacity limits, and then we'll require the 3 feet distance, and indoors the masks will still be a requirement. As of today's announcement, we provide this meaningful relief to every type of business in the state. And we've been hearing from them, and I've been talking to them, and we know that they need that relief. Again, we're doing this incremental flexibility based on the safety and based on the shots that we've been able to get in the arms, and we've accelerated that. We've moved this up a week. And as a small business owner, a former small business owner, a week is a lifetime. So that's very important that we save every day that we can and do it in a safe way. So restaurants will be able to fit additional tables indoors just in time for Mother's Day. And of course, we're praying for real good weather, and they'll be able to go outdoors as well. Just as an example, just giving you an example, where I visited one restaurant yesterday in Federal Hill. Their capacity is going to grow by almost 30 seats, and they do 3 different shifts. That's 90 meals that will be served in that particular restaurant in Federal Hill. That's a great deal of money for the restaurant, but think about also the gratuities that the servers are going to receive as well. And you do that across hundreds and hundreds of restaurants through the state of Rhode Island. That's why it's so important that we hit this date and create this flexibility we're talking about. Gyms, especially our small fitness studios, have had limited numbers and decreased revenue because of the 6 feet requirement. We will now be able to increase the number of participants in their classes. Our caterers and wedding planners will be able to tell their clients that there will be regular dancing this summer at their weddings. Again, we want to make sure, we know that we're talking to wedding planners right now, and our message when we said a few weeks ago there'll be music in Newport during the summer was a signal to everybody that if you got a wedding planned for this summer, you're going to have a good experience. You're going to have a good wedding right here in Rhode Island. There's no need to move to another state. So we're going to stay the course, and masking and testing are still strongly recommended for people who are not vaccinated. Very important there too, and Dr. Alexander Scott will mention this. Vaccinations keep you safe. If you're not vaccinated, you run a risk. I've talked to a friend that was in the hospital this week. So we all, even though the hospitalizations are down, the risk is still there. Get vaccinated. That's the most important thing that we can do right now to help our state. Sports Upstate, starting April 26th, we're opening up the last group of higher risk indoor sports. Wrestling and karate are back. That means high schools can have wrestling this spring. And starting April 26th, spectators beyond parents and siblings can cheer on their teams. And I know they're looking forward to that. Please respect individual building capacities and keep wearing your mask inside. Finally, starting May 28th, the restrictions on out-of-state teams playing in tournaments in Rhode Island will be lifted. This allows our indoor sports facilities and other venues to host events subject to restrictions, but starting in May, and to plan to book these events all summer. They can book them all summer. This is important for our economy and for our athletes, and we welcome the news from many leagues. Like I said, we're not going to put the mission accomplished sign up yet, but we're getting close, as you can tell. We're not at the finish line, but we want to get there safely, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we keep our safety as our top priority. And again, let's get vaccinated. Don't wait till tomorrow. There's appointments available. It's certainly being reported in the newspapers. And let's take advantage of those extra doses that the state of Rhode Island received this week because we have built out the capacity, as I mentioned earlier, to as many as 160,000 shots in any given week. We can with the supply we're at right now, we could put well over 100,000 shots in the arms this week alone. So please you wear your mask. Let's vaccinate the Ocean State. Let's stay positive, test negative.